I'm back in the building. Another one. I'm back in the building. On that lunch break again. You already know. Let me turn that AC down. Oh man, it's hot today. Like I said, it's hot. The water's hot. It's hot as a stove out here. Or the burner on. You know what I'm talking about? Don't forget to turn the burner off. Keep the burner on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm back in the building, y'all. And I want to talk about today. No, all jokes aside, this is a serious conversation. This is this is something that people take very, very seriously. And it shouldn't even be a subject. It shouldn't even be a subject. It shouldn't be something that people even conversate about. You know what I'm saying? This is some made up shit. Some stuff that men made up to go ahead and divide each other. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're ignorant, meaning that you don't know, we tend, I'm not going to say that I haven't done it, but we tend to go ahead and cast judgment on it that is inaccurate, that is not true, that is false, because we don't know, we don't get it. You get what I'm saying? So at the same time, this narrative gets passed down. Like if you have people standing, and I haven't even told y'all what it's about yet, but this narrative gets passed down. Like if one person in the front of the line, there's 10 people, and you whisper something in that first person's ear, and they're supposed to pass this down. They go ahead and they pass the information down. Okay, tell your neighbor, tell your neighbor. By the time you get to the last person, this thing is all fucked up, for lack of better words. It's all confused. Let's say the phrase is, we're going to make pecan pie on a summer day in New Orleans. By the time it gets to the end, it'd be like, we need to get our pies and smash them on the ground in Delaware. That's how shit. I mean, I'm just saying. There's been studies done like this before, and people have really come to the conclusion that this shit don't work. Don't ever tell everybody in the group now. You know, it's 2022 now. Everybody understand? Okay. All right, break. You know, and then there's still one or two that's like, what he said? Okay, so today I want to discuss racism and prejudice. All right. So straight getting it out the mud. Racism, there at one time, now I wasn't there, but this is the history of it, all right? His story. Racism was invented, okay? And this is a new term that derived from the term racialism. Racialism came about the late 1800s or early 1800s, racialism. And then racism is something fairly new. It's not even 100 years old yet. Yeah, that's what I said. When it's not even 100 years old. It came off of the word racialism. Okay, so that existed over 100 years, but racism is only since 1928, something like that. 1928, early 1930s. So before World War II, right before World War II, racism started. All right. So prejudice, meaning to prejudge, you know, before you even know the facts, get it? That's what prejudice means. Prejudice means to prejudge someone. Like someone comes and gets a job, and everybody in there is the same color, so they automatically think that he's gonna cause trouble or he's gonna steal. That's prejudice. All right. Racism is when somebody go ahead and don't want to fuck with you at all. They discriminate against you. They cause harm to you because your race, your color is not their color. Okay. So that's the difference between racism and prejudice. Prejudge, derogatory, and treat somebody bad and do wrong and cause harm to a person because of their color. Now, none of this shit never even existed. You know what I'm saying? When people were different shades, it's just that they was different shades. It was kind of just like how, I'm not comparing us to beasts, but just roll with me on this real quick. It was just like seeing cows in the field. They have the brown cows, they have the black cows, they have the white cows, they have the ones with the spots on them and shit like that. And then they got the ones that, you know, they just like fucking albino cows or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just cows. And fucking, you got pigs, you got fucking brown pigs, you got white pigs, pink pigs, you know what I'm saying? You got pigs. This how it was. You think animals are sitting up there saying, nah, I ain't fucking with you, you're a black pig. Or you a black cow. You know what I'm saying? We the only ones that have so much, we think we, like I told y'all about the glass half full. Don't never let your glass get so full and running over to where you start thinking you know every fucking thing. Like I told y'all, I'm just a brother. I'm bringing this to you because I like talking. I like to talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I've always done. You can ask anybody. I used to keep my older sister up all night long asking her questions. To the point to where she started humming in her sleep. She'd be like, I asked her husband the other day, I said, she still say in her sleep? And she said, I don't do that shit no more. But I used to ask her questions all night long to the point to where she started saying in her sleep. So this is me. So I know who I am. So I'm bringing it to y'all because I like sharing information. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a brother. I don't know everything. And neither do I fucking claim to know everything. That's why I leave the comments open. So that you can go ahead and comment and go ahead and teach me some shit. Alright? So we can learn this shit together. And then we can grow together and develop together. And we can go ahead and move forward in a whole different capacity of life together. And we can actually become greater together. Growth and development. GDs. People will love that shit. And a lot of people going to be like, he's a GD? Oh my goodness. Just go ahead and get him, pick him up, and bring him in. Nah, I ain't no GD. I never choose sides. And like I said, I am not racist. I am not a part of any type of group. I'm just a brother. I think that I don't believe in white, black, Indian, Japanese, Chinese. I don't believe in those things. I think we all live on the same planet and we all in the same oceans, and we're just trying to figure this shit out. Trying to make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? Because somewhere down the line, if it was done purposely or not done purposely, somebody fucked up the information and took in and dumbed everybody down to whereas everybody's still trying to figure it out. To the point to where people just gave up on it. And they just sitting up there saying to themselves, you know what, I'm just going to work. My grandfather told me that. I worked with him one day. We was laying bricks. He was a brick mason. We laying brick. Right? And he told me, I was deep into the Bible at this point, and I'm trying to learn the Bible. I'm studying the Bible at all times. I stopped doing certain things. I stopped working on certain days. And it was teaching me that you had to know, pick how you was going to be. You could not be a double-minded man. You had to be one way. This is one of the lessons that the Bible teach. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay? And that's scripture. You see what I'm saying? So I learned that, and I was applying some of the things from the Bible in my life. And my grandfather told me, he said, this is how he said, I don't believe in all that. I believe in working. That's what my grandpa told. He said, I believe in working. And he believes in certain things, but he just wanted me to get the understanding that, you know, your focus should be on taking care of your family. That was his whole meaning of what he was trying to tell me. He wasn't telling me that he didn't believe in himself or anything like that. He was just saying, I believe in working. But, okay, so racism is totally different all around the world. Like, I traveled the world and stuff. I've been in different countries. And I noticed something that when you go to other planets, and there, I saw an interview too. I'm not gonna try to act like I just made this up, but this is what I seen. I seen Waka Flocka actually say something. The rapper Waka, he used to be a rapper, but now he's an entrepreneur. But I seen him make a video about, about when he goes to other countries, they don't call him black, they call him American. And when I went to other countries, basically, I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was in Iraq, right? I'm in the military. I was with a guy named Verduzco, and we were basically going. We was on camp guard because every so often, like once every 2 months, you would get slated on camp guard, and you would have to go and do, like, patrol the camp and stuff like that, which I hated that shit. But this was our turn. Me and Verduzco got put together. Boom, we walking. And we had to go meet these cleaners who were gonna come to the front gate. We had to go get them and escort them around the camp. I would walk in front of them, right on side of them. I mean, like right on side to the left. And Verduzco was to walk behind them, just in case they tried some shit. We'll fucking lay their ass out. But anyway, Verduzco and me heard them talking, and they kept calling me Shem. And I was like, what the fuck is they talking about, Shem? And at this point, I know nothing about the Bible. So they calling me Shem. The little boy, they was like little boys, like probably like 13, 14, 15 years old. And they kept saying, Shem, ha, 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 ha. Hey, Shem, 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 ah, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, what the fuck are they laughing at? But anyway, I don't give a fuck, as long as they ain't got nothing in their hand. You see what I'm saying? But come to find out, years later, I found out that Noah had 3 sons. He had 3 sons, and the sons' names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I might be pronouncing those wrong, but that's just the English pronunciation that I have learned. So Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they were calling me Shem. I guess they were saying that I derived from Shem. And they were laughing at me. They thought it was funny or what have you, whatever. So just wanted to point that out. That's not racism. They just was trying to place me in whatever they religion was, and that they read the Quran over there a lot. They were Sunnis or whatever. So I don't know if you know about that, but anyway, you have to go look up Iraqi history and to get all that. I'm not going to go into detail because I'm talking about racism and prejudice, those 2 topics. All right, so they were just looking at the religion aspect of it. So here in America, they look at white, they look at black, you know what I'm saying? And then they look at, they even call people Spanish. They call people from Mexico or people from Honduras or South America and people from Brazil and all that. They call them Spanish, which is a miscategorizing them, because basically a person from Brazil, they speak Portuguese. So they are Portuguese, right? But they just call them all Spanish, just put them all in one bit. Just like black folk or whatever they call the so-called black man or black woman, they call them black. That's the way that they can go ahead and identify and put a person in a fucking group. But they call white people who are Europeaners or maybe even Scandinavians or Slavs or Slavs and Ukrainians, Russians. If they don't speak with an accent, automatically they say, oh, he white. Soon as he speak with an accent, oh, they be like, oh, why you from Russia? Oh, why you from, and he'd be like, no, I ain't from Belize. You hear what I'm saying? So the shit is just crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? In America, how this thing has come. Because it's been going on for almost 100 years. I'm trying to tell you right now. That's the reason why people so fucked up. Because this theory and this doctrine has been being pushed upon people from generation to generation. So it's like almost 3 generations now, because my grandmother would have been born like in the 20s, right? And my mom, well, really not even that. My great-grandmother would have been born probably in the 20s. My grandmother would have been born probably in like the 40s. My mom was born in 1960. I was born in 83, okay? So it still has been going on for 100 years, and that's 4 generations, all right? So if you really think about this, this is something that has been force-fed down your throat. Because once you learned how to talk or speak, once you learned to speak, you were told that you were black, only to find out that you are brown when you looked in the mirror. Like, come on. They taught you your colors. I am not black. You can look at me right now. I mean, I'm brown. Am I? I don't know. I'm kind of like brown as a motherfucker. Like, come on. My eyebrows are black. But you can tell that I ain't motherfucking black. All right? So, white people ain't white. I said it to my farmer one time. We were going out of town to go do some work. So I said, man, look, I'm going to leave my car home. You know what I'm saying? My wife drove my car. She dropped me off. But anyway, long story short, we're in the car. I said, man, the white man ain't white and the black man ain't black. They bust out laughing, two white brothers. They bust out laughing, man. It was like, man, what is you talking about? You see what I'm saying? So we have to really put things in this proper perspective. Like, for instance, we know that I'm a straight. So we know that people, light-skinned people, like that we call so-called white people, we know that they are Europeaners and that they descended from Europe because they came on the Mayflower and they came over here on boats. We know that for a fact. Come on, be honest. We know that white folks not from here, not from this land. They didn't originate here. Okay? Now, then we know that some people came on slave ships, supposedly, right? I'm not saying that I can neither confirm nor deny. You like that, huh? But my buddy Ivan, he the one that used to always say, Zach, I can neither confirm nor deny, my brother. Come on, warrior. You gotta think, baby. But anyway, so I can neither confirm nor deny that black people came on slave ships. But I do know that black people, that people of color that look like me came on slave ships. Now I can neither deny. Now I know for a fact that they were already people that look like me that was in this land when they so-called Europeaners that came on the Mayflower came here, because there's eyewitness accounts that say that they were of a dark complexion. All right, not red, because if you look at me right now, I'm kind of, if the light hit me, I look reddish brown, which is ruddy according to the Bible. All right. Now they got different meanings of ruddy. You look it up online. Now they got it to where it's saying ruddy is white in some instances. Like, for instance, in the Bible, it said that Jesus had feet like burnt brass. If you go pull a picture of burnt brass, it's going to be like a little darker than this, just a little bit. But if I go back into the shade, that's burnt brass. You see what I'm saying? So we have to get real wise about what we talking about. Don't prejudge. I met a lady one time. This lady was from I think she said she was from the west coast of Africa. I automatically assumed she spoke very proper. She used to do ballerina stuff and all the stuff like that. She was dark as a motherfucker, right? She was a beautiful lady. She just, you know, she just wasn't from here. She spoke 2 or 3 different languages and stuff like that. She wasn't from here. And I knew it right off the dump that she wasn't from here. I just didn't know what she was from, and I ain't want to prejudge. I ain't want to be prejudiced and be like, you from Africa, huh? And then be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But she was from Africa. You know what I'm saying? She was very proper though. So when we go ahead and we see people talking and they hate a person because of their color, man, you can't deal with these type of people. We need to stop the narrative. We need to stop the bullshit. We need to cut this shit off. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want our kids growing up in the world like that. Morgan Freeman had made a little interview that he had. He basically was like, how do you get rid of slavery or whatever? We stopped talking about it. Because I don't believe that I was descended from slaves. I don't. I think that if it was any type of bondage going on, it was kind of similar to what's going on today. How people are getting locked up because of their skin color, or because they different, and there's ignorance going on, and they putting them and putting them in chains and putting them on plantations and all that stuff like that, because that's still happening today. It's still happening today. They got brothers getting out of jail who doing 30, 40 years and ain't did it. DNA evidence is showing that they ain't did it. They innocent. So you make it make sense. Why is this shit still happening in this 2022? Because, man, we ignorant. Start putting yourself in the shoes and go ahead and learn about these people culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go ahead and start dressing like these people and start acting like these people. Find out who you is first. Go back and go and do your homework. All right? Do your homework and find out who you are before you hate a certain people. See why they did what they did, why they acting the way they acting. They probably was taught to do this shit all their life. It's hard to change habits when you've been doing shit all your life. Your mama told you to not to talk to this people and not to talk to that person, and this is how you supposed to feel about them. They'll fuck you up if you talk to them. You know what I'm saying? My mama never told me not to deal with certain people. But I didn't want to deal with certain people because I seen their character. Judge people off the content of their character, and then you're going to live a righteous life. Go ahead and treat people the way that you want to be treated, and also treat people the way they want to be treated. If a motherfucker don't want to talk to you, don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Move around their ass. But at the end of the day, y'all, we still got to live in the same world. So what does it matter? You see what I'm saying? All this shit is just stupid. Back in the day, this shit did not happen. And I hit you with some real knowledge right now. It wasn't even a lot of different colors of people before a certain time period. People started to evolve into what we look like today. You see what I'm saying? It mostly was a dark-skinned people on this earth. It mostly was. Why you think you can go to the whole east coast of the world and everybody tan, look Spanish? You see what I'm saying? But then you go just to this pocket in Europe and everybody real light-skinned, meaning what they call so-called white. But that's only a small little group, a small area, Europe. That whole landmass right there. They say they descended from Japheth in the Bible and stuff like that. Shemites, they come from a different landmass, according to the Bible. Not saying that it's true, not saying that it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it has been altered a bit, because the history says that it has. Now, whose story? Fuck, see what I'm saying? They fucking shit up. But we need to get to the source of everything. That's why we research, and that's why I research, so I can come and have these conversations with y'all. And eventually, I'm about to end this video. There will be a part 2 of this, because you can't go ahead and talk about all this. This is just too much information. I'm gonna start putting together real in-depth videos for y'all. I just started this channel, so I'm trying to build up the views. So like and subscribe, and once we get to over, let's say 1,000 viewers, right? Once we got 1,000 subscriptions, then I'll start putting together PowerPoint slides, and I'll start putting together all this information and putting it in front of you so you can eat this food and go ahead and digest it and be able to like and share it with everybody in your family and your friends and things of that nature, so we can stop this foolishness. I live in a world to where I look at people like they all little children. I'm serious. I look at people like because they help me be able to treat people so good when I look at them and I see them as 2 and 3 years old. You know, because people then live their life and then created this anger so they can throw up their defenses and be like, you better not mess with me. Who? Phew. Men walk around the construction field. I wish somebody would say something to me, because they got to. They got so many assholes out here. They got so many bullies in the world. And you can't allow somebody to just fuck you up. But y'all be cool. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay 100% in everything that you do. Energy straight through the roof. Ha!